Hey everyone, so this is the first episode of Transplanted, and so what I'm hoping to um, gain by this channel, or with this channel, is just I don't know, just playing around with plants and seeing what we can get to grow, um, and learning from it all. I'm in, I am by no way a professional. I just do this as a hobby, and I'm a very amateur. I don't know if there's anything less than an amateur. That would be me at this point. So, so yeah. So this channel is just, just gonna put it out there, and for those who want to follow and and watch how things develop and grow, not just with the plants, but on the channel. Um, come along for the ride. Why not? Um, so to start out, so I'm in my greenhouse right now, and I just built this in the fall, actually, of 2018. It's now March of 2019, and so at that point, I was just kind of rushing to get it all done because we had a bunny rabbit, and I wanted to get her out of the elements and build her insulated place where she could just, you know, wouldn't have to worry about her freezing in the minus 30 degrees Celsius weather in the wintertime. Um, Unfortunately, our bunny passed away a few weeks ago, and so with that, I decided, I was gonna have it as a greenhouse with her in here. It's it's just it's taken on a whole different thing now. So it's progressed a little bit further than what I had expected it to at this point. But you know, it's kind of my tribute to Zeus, who was our bunny. Um, so yeah, so I am located in Canada, in Ontario, to be specific. I don't really want to go beyond that. Um, so some of the things that I've done with this greenhouse, because I just had it, you know, for a few months, and not really the coldest time in the winter either. Um, I ended up getting a heater not that long ago, and so I've been able to maintain at night. I think the lowest temperature this greenhouse has seen with the heater has been about minus 20 degrees Celsius, and the greenhouse has stayed at about 10 degrees Celsius, so well above freezing. And and the reason for that too is that I mean it's insulated, but there are gaps that I do have to fill in. Um, and next year as well, when before winter hits, I'm going to be using bubble wrap on the roof to give it that extra layer of insulation on there, and and that will actually like retain the heat as well without losing the sunlight that I'm going to need in here. So oh, there's Lucy. Um, so yeah, so if we just look around, you can see that I do have grow lights. I mean, it is technically still winter. Um, daylight savings time actually is this Sunday, so should get a little bit more daylight or last a little bit longer throughout the day. Um, so for the time being, I do have grow lights, and they seem to be working all right. Um, I got some Brussels sprouts and things, and that's dill beside. So dill and Brussels sprouts. Not sure what's growing over there yet. Could just be weeds from the soil. We'll find out once they do start coming through properly. And so yeah, just a quick tour. Nothing fancy. Um, you know, with a lot of other things. I'm in no way a carpenter or a builder. This was just something that I watched different YouTube videos, and passed it past a friend of mine who um, is very talented in building things, and they gave me suggestions, and I just kind of went with that, and voila, we have something that's withstood 120-kilometer-hour winds a couple weeks back. So yeah, I guess I did an okay job. It's still standing. Um, So yeah. So what else? So I guess too the thing is this channel isn't just gonna be about plants or transplanting plants. I mean it is gonna revolve around plants and things because I feel like when you're working with Mother Nature, I don't know. I feel like I connect better to people around me actually, and back to Earth as well, right? Um, so I mean, along with talking about plants and how we can grow things and help each other to learn about growing things. I hope this evolves into other things as well, where maybe a discussion about you know social issues or organizations such as the one on my hat here, finding them homes. It's James Bay Positive Rescue, and um, if I'm correct, they operate in Oro Medonte, is I believe is where their headquarters are. And they are a dog rescue. They go up north to northern Ontario and rescue dogs, stray dogs, dogs that the population is kind of I guess getting out of control, and and for those people that they unfortunately maybe they don't have the means to take care of the dogs that they do have, and they just want to give those dogs a better life. So these amazing volunteers from finding them homes, you know. They will actually go up north and pick up these dogs and bring them back to southern Ontario. They do have a Facebook page, and their website is findingthemhomes.com. Look them up. They do a fantastic job, and they've helped so many dogs find homes and forever homes too, because they do vet not only their dogs but the people who are going to be adopting them, which is fantastic because they've had a very high success rate with placing these dogs. So yeah, check them out if you're an animal lover and you like to rescue animals, and even if you can't rescue, maybe you can foster, maybe you can donate. Check them out anyway. So yeah, so issues like that. So hopefully, hopefully we get some views, we get some shares, we get some subscribers, um, and we'll go from there. So cheers, everyone, and what's today? Thursday. Yeah. So maybe I'll be able to put a video out every week, and we'll see how things progress from there. Um, Maybe next time I'll go into the plants that I have planted. Give you a rundown. It's I've got some peppers and tomatoes, and these over here. These are kind of ornamental things. I have an orange tree that's growing in here. I have two medicinal plants. You might have seen them when I was panning around, that are growing in here right now. Um, and then I have some black-eyed Susans that I've started from seed, and some milkweed. I do have a few gardens in the backyard here, and a couple in the front yard, which is dedicated to attracting pollinators to help them. They are losing their habitats, and we've tried to plan our gardens accordingly so that perhaps we can help, maybe just a little bit, right? I mean, I know one place, one house with a garden is not going to save, the population, but it is going to help. And if I'm one person on this street and one person on the next street, and so on and so forth, um, plants a garden to help feed our pollinators in an organic garden with species that are native to your area, which is very important. Um, you know, Maybe we can start to help repair the earth that we're destroying. In reality. So I mean, hopefully, as somebody who is interested in gardening and interested in plants and Mother Nature, you are not a climate change denier. Because if you are, um, yeah, I don't know what else. What I would say to you is maybe go do some reading, do some research, and stop listening to corporations that are just out there to make money at the expense of the rest of us. Because really, that's what it's come down to. Again, I'm not a professional, when it comes to climate change or anything else, but I do some reading, and with everything that I've read, and I'm not, very keen when it comes to science, but I mean, if I can understand it and say, yeah, I can see it, I understand where, this so-called theory back in the day has become a reality for us. Um, there's hundreds of and thousands of scientists out there who have a better education than I do, who you know claim that it's real. I'm going to trust them. Um, so yeah, so issues like that. And along with planting stuff and everything else, composting. We do have a green bin collection in our area here. In the wintertime, I don't collect scraps from our kitchen, just because it's too cold, right? I just don't feel, maybe with the greenhouse, maybe I'll be able to compost a bit more, and that will actually retain some heat, and if give off some heat as well from the compost. Um, but yeah, so in the spring, summer, and fall, I do collect the waste from the kitchen, and it's just vegetables. We don't put any meat or any animal byproducts other than eggshells into the compost, and that's just a personal choice. I mean, there's plenty of people out there that say, or not that say, but that do use, meat. They'll compost meat. I mean, there's people who compost, human waste, and there's a whole. I'm actually reading a book called Humanure, and it can be done if done properly. I can't remember. It's Joseph something. I forget his last name, but uh, I'll put a link to his book. So I'm in the process of reading that because we do have some property up north, and it's an off-grid cabin, and it does have a composting toilet. So I needed to learn how to properly compost our waste without animals around us getting sick and us getting sick. So so it's very educational, and if done properly, can be used on your food gardens and stuff like that. Um, I'm just a little iffy about it because I don't have the experience. So maybe once I gain the experience and learn a little bit more on how to do it properly without risking the health of my family or wildlife around us, then that'll be something that I look into. So, so yeah, so I guess that's just really where I hope this channel leads, just to open up discussions. I'm sure there's going to be people out there who know a lot more than I do, and I'm sure they're going to comment, and that's fine. I learn by making mistakes, and I learn by doing. So that's what I hope to accomplish anyway, is to learn more about being self-sufficient when it comes to gardening, because I always had an interest in it. I remember when my grandfather was alive, I used to just love, being in his garden and watching him. He used to graft, trees and stuff like that, and like his gardens were just amazing, and you know, so that was something. It was a love that we both shared, and we spent a lot of time together, um, cultivating things, which was amazing. Um, so yeah, so that's what I'm hoping to do with this channel, and we'll see how things go. So, so yeah. So cheers, everyone, and we'll see you in the next episode.